Hello, my name is Dr. Michelle Maidenberg, and today I'm going to be talking about change. So, change naturally happens, of course, and it's part of our evolution. And sometimes it's really, really hard to make transitions, and that's a very, human basic reaction. We resist change, we really kind of gravitate towards what's familiar. And with everything that's going on now and just in general, change is necessary because of all the uncertainty. So we could make a decision. We could either go with the flow, so to speak, or we could resist. And inevitably, it will be a lot more difficult and challenging for us. And change could be very positive, of course, because it gives us an opportunity to recalibrate. It gives us an opportunity to think about how we want to refocus or what our needs are and what goals we want to work on. So it could be almost reviving in some respects if we're open to it and we don't, again, struggle and resist it. The reason also why we resist it, besides it not being familiar sometimes, is also because we sometimes recognize and have more self-awareness about ourselves, and sometimes we're in denial of that, or we don't want to see ourselves because something may be painful or challenging for us, and it may necessitate us making a change. Another reason is that sometimes people in our lives don't align with us. So they may have aligned with our past, but they may not necessarily be aligning with our future. And that means that we do have to make changes in those relationships. And sometimes that requires us distancing or creating boundaries. And that could be hard as well. So, often in our lives, we do have to recalibrate because it does require us changing a habit or a behavior, such as like procrastination or reacting in a very angry way in our behavior, or overeating, or any kind of habit that we perpetually do or that we've kind of fallen into or historically have done and want to make changes to. So today's guided meditation is going to be about embracing change so that we could experience personal growth and enhancement. And again, especially with COVID and everything that's going on now, it really requires us to be very flexible and willing. So if you could sit up straight, and again, when you feel comfortable, you could close your eyes. And we're going to be looking at change. And I want you to just experience, when I even say that word, what comes up for you, what meaning it holds, and how you typically react when there is change in your life or transition. And just note that, where you're feeling that in your body. And these are some things that we could just hold and share and embrace to enable us to move forward. So even though we say we want change, sometimes we're reluctant to let go. Old habits, emotions, thoughts, and patterns sometimes lock us in a hold. However challenging it is, or disappointing, or upsetting, change and movement can also bring about energizing us and enlightening us from the heavy burdens of carrying these old, perpetual habits. And it's sometimes really difficult to surrender and to gravitate towards the familiar. So just imagine as if you have chains binding your hands. That's not allowing movement. And that's confining and destabilizing. And take a moment and imagine what it would be like if you were able to break those shackles, to unleash yourself from being confined and imagine being able to explore, being able to be open, to be seen, to be known, and recognize that you're not who you were before. Nothing around you or anyone around you is exactly the same. We adapt, we accelerate, we move forward with resilience and perseverance and empowerment. It's time to move away from the same old things, from the same old ways. Imagine making headway and being less rigid. Maybe being a little unsure and being able to sit with that. Maybe a little fearful, or maybe a little less secure, but giving yourself the compassion to pivot through that, to learn afresh, to experiment and explore, to imagine and create one step at a time, little micro steps. That's all it takes to discover new terrains, new routes, new realities. So I'm choosing to release the past, and say that and repeat that. I am choosing to release the past. I am choosing to get unstuck. I appreciate and have gratitude for the ability to embark on change and welcome the new in the present moment, and cherish my ability to have new and improved behaviors and relationships. It's time to make a fresh start, to think clearly, and no longer feel weighted down or trapped or constricted or contained. The joy and dream begins with joy and ease and peace as you move forward. Greet newness at the door. Remind yourself who you truly are. And even through radical change, that at your core, you're the kind and thoughtful and caring and nurturing person that you've always been. All you simply want is a fresh chance to be your best self. Rewrite your script. Experience the world in the way that you want to. When I count to 3 and when you're ready, you could open your eyes. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Wish you and your families health and safety.